everybody, and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. My name is Thomas Bailey. Alongside me, Cameron Orzakowski. Cameron, we have a lot to get into today. We're going to talk some NHL hockey. We're going to talk some football. We'll talk some soccer. And we'll close things out with some baseball as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned in for this entire show here today. Welcome in live. NHL talk is what we'll start things off with. The Utah Hockey Club, now Utah Mammoth, taking on the Boston Bruins. They take them down 3-2. Cam, what can you tell me about that game?
Well, it's our newest expansion team of the NHL, defeating an original 6. I mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Pastrnak had only 2 goals.
Only.
Yeah, only. He scored both of them.
Yeah.
While Clayton Keller and Dylan Guenther, Logan Cooley had the game winner. Logan Cooley had the game winner. Let me clarify that for the Mammoths in overtime. Now, on to the Hawks and Ducks.
Yeah, the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Chicago Blackhawks, a 2-1 overtime win for the Chicago Blackhawks. What can you tell me about that one?
Well, it was scored by Ryan Donato in OT, assisted by Connor Bedard, and Anaheim's only goal was scored by Mason McTavish.
Nice. Ryan Donato led the team in goals last season with 41. This season looking to repeat that success here after getting a 3-year contract extension. As we move into the final game, our beloved Buffalo Sabres taking on the Florida Panthers. What sounds pretty bad, but it ends with a 3-0 Sabres win, and everyone's shocked.
Everyone is shocked, myself included. I know it's fun to actually be able to talk about the Sabres winning.
I know.
Sabres acquired a win against the Stanley Cup defending champions, Florida Panthers, 3-0. Panthers do not have a single goal. Now, this is big because Alex Lyon acquired his 5th career shutout that game. Owen Power, Josh Doan had 2 goals, and the Panthers had none.
Yeah, Josh Doan with 2 power play goals, as well as the Buffalo Sabres are now 7th in the league in power play and 1st in penalty kill, killing off 24 of 25 penalties this season. Sabres will play Montreal tonight. Canadians are 4-2, coming off a 4-3 loss to the New York Rangers in their last outing, as Buffalo looks to improve their winning streak to 3 games. In other events, though, women's soccer here for the Buffalo State men's and women's teams. Women's soccer side of things, as we'll give it to Mario later on for the men's side. Women's soccer is 7-5-3 this season, having 4 new games since our last show that we talked about them. They tied in a 1-1 game against Fredonia with a battle by the lake. That was for first in the conference. Both of them tying actually put Cortland at number 1 where they sit. As after that game, they would win their next game, beating Onada 1-0 in a shutout victory before falling to Cortland 2-0, who is still first place in the conference, and then tying with New Paltz, who is 4th in the conference with a 1-1 draw there. So 3 ties on the season, 2 of them in these last 4 games. Not a great stretch for this team, but they are playing some very good teams. Cortland, New Paltz are 2 of the best teams. And as of right now, Buffalo State with that 7-5 record sits at 2nd in SUNYAC conference play, only behind the 5-0-1 Cortland Red Dragons. So pretty interesting for them, as we'll be back in just one moment with some more coverage here on Buffalo Sports Insider. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll be back after this.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
Good afternoon, the Buffalo Sports Insider. My name's Joe. Mario Long here with me, and he's going to start out with his segment.
On Saturday, the Buffalo State Bengals men's soccer team, they qualified to the SUNY quarterfinals after the game against New Paltz 1-1. This was a tough game, and a little bit of context about this game, Joe. Last year, when I was part of the team, it was a really tough game. I remember it was a long trip. We went to New Paltz, and it was their senior day, and we wanted to really make that a hard day for them. Yeah. We were unbeaten by that time. It was towards the end of the season. However, we lost 1-0 against them that day, and we lost our streak that day. So this year, we wanted to just get the revenge from that game, from that day. So this game, the Buffalo State Bengals, they tied 1-1 against New Paltz. Not the score they wanted, but 1-1 is a good score. It was a tension game as well as expected. In the first half, New Paltz were controlling the game. They were having more shots than the Buffalo State Bengals. The Buffalo State Bengals didn't have a really clear offense idea since their main goal scorer, Diego Rivera, was suspended after having accumulating 5 yellow cards.
5 yellows.
So it was a really tough game for the Buffalo State Bengals. There was a lot of controversy with the referee, fouls, yellow cards, and in the second half, actually, minute 65th, there was a 56th. There was a red card for the Buffalo State Bengals center back, Tapiwa Mushonga. That drastically changed the game, Joe. However, it was for good. It was a good change. Who would say that with one player less, you would play better? They were more active in offense, even though they had less possession. However, at the 66th minute with 16 seconds, New Paltz scored a goal 4 minutes before the game ended. But 88th minute with 0 seconds from Wales, Sam Gregson saved the goal, the score, the day for the Bengals, and scored a goal for the Buffalo State Bengals. So it was a great game. It was tension. It was great to watch. A lot of controversies with the referee, a lot of controversies between players. But the Buffalo State Bengals now they're qualified to the quarterfinals with a record of 13-1-3 ties, which is great for them.
Yeah, they overcame a lot, it sounds like, and just to get people on the same wavelength. Losing Diego is like the Bills losing Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was definitely
that's
for
your
them.
starter. That's your starter you count on. Okay, we're gonna go to a little high school football now. Just a little rundown on what happened this week. Jerry Smith of St. Francis got his 200 win Friday night over Timon. I coached with Jerry. I first got my coaching going with him. I went to a game I went to this week. Jamestown and Niagara Falls, both 3-3. I thought I'd see a good game. Jamestown destroyed them. They had 7. The Falls turned the ball over 7 times, 3 pick sixes. The Niagara Falls team was just like demoralized after it was 21-0. It's like they quit. Then Jamestown, they're up, and they're going to kick an onside kickoff, and the Falls doesn't even adjust to it. I mean, it looked like bad coaching, bad like leaders. No, I mean the team just hanging their heads the whole time. It was bad to see. Health Sciences devoured Hamburg 76-3 to go 7-0 in the season. Listen, because I want you to hear this right. Kavion Pitts rushed 19 times for 434 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yes. He's up for the Connolly Cup, even though he's got the kid from Canisius to go against. Okay. On the season, he's got 1,098 yards, 18 touchdowns. He's the second leading rusher. Portville beat Springville down in their small towns, 68-34. Jake Ziegler for Portville carried the ball 28 times for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. And another Newfane, who is way up north, up by the lake, and Gowanda, who is, south, so they got to travel for that game. Newfane won 36-26 to go 7-0. Matt Capon rushed 172 yards, 21 carries. He is the leading rusher, and he's a quarterback, but he's the leading rusher.
Wow.
1,233.
That's great.
Your leading passers are Brady Waring from Eden North Collins. Justice Kloitz from Iroquois is in second place. And your top wide receivers, Evan Zanke from Will South, Nick Skutnik for Iroquois, and Elijah Kimball comes in at your second leading rusher. And up next, in my next segment, I'm going to talk about rivalry weekend because that's what's happening this weekend. And we'll be right back with our next segment.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're going to take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. I'm Jake Moss, joined here by Puce, and he's going to start this off by talking about men's basketball, correct?
Yes, Buffalo State men's basketball. It is time for Bengal basketball. The first team training took place on October 15th, and head coach Mike Birkin commended his team on a great training session right before reminding them that every team across the nation had a great first day. That's just how things go. The Bengals will have 13 returning players this season, and out of those 13 returning players, I got to speak with Brendan Cheng, a third-year guard out of Huntington, New York. He stated that he wants to play every game. He wants to contribute to winning. He hasn't put a number on how many points or assists he wants to average per game, but he wants to do everything he can to contribute to this team's winning. And I think when you have a third-year veteran with the team with that type of mentality, his influence will trickle down through the locker room and especially to the new guys. And it is something to keep an eye on as we head towards tip-off. Yeah, and that's basically all we have on the updates on men's Buffalo State basketball. We will have more updates, of course, this coming Wednesday. And as the season goes along, we will keep you guys updated right here on Buffalo Sports Insider. I'm going to pass it on to Jake, and we're going to talk about some NFL.
Absolutely. We got a lot going on in the NFL so far. 7 weeks in, and the number 1 seeds in the NFL are the Colts and the Buccaneers. And to put it outright, if you told me you had that before the season, you're lying.
You're lying.
So the Colts sit there at 6-1, and not only are the top team in the NFL when it comes to record, but when you look at points per drive, they come in at a 3.46, which is the most in NFL history, topping both the 2007 Patriots and 2018 Chiefs by more than a third of a point. Now, the highlight of last week, everyone watched it. The Denver Broncos and the New York Giants. This game was phenomenal. A 33-32 win for the Denver Broncos, where they only scored in the fourth quarter.
Insane.
Entering the fourth quarter, the Giants are up 19-0 and managed to not only lose the game, but then fight their way back in to lose the game again.
Yep.
Teams in a situation like that, where they were up 18 points with 6 minutes left in the game, were 1,062-0. That record is now 1,062-1, with the Giants being the sole team to lose in that situation. Now, looking ahead at the playoff picture so far, our division leaders in the AFC in order of seed would be the Colts, Patriots, Broncos, and Steelers. With the Broncos currently winning the AFC West ahead of the Chargers and the Chiefs, a team that's 5-2 off of a lot of close games, a team that just starts slow but continues to win. In the NFC, you have the Buccaneers, the Packers, the 49ers, and the Eagles, 4 usual teams. The only one that really stands out is the 49ers, continuing to get injured everywhere else other than Christian McCaffrey. And your wild card teams being the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars, and Rams, Seahawks, Lions. No surprises there. Maybe just the seed, but the teams are about where you would expect. Currently missing from the playoff picture, the 3-3 Chiefs, who started out really slow, the 1-5 Ravens, a team that everyone thought was going to be very high-powered, just like the 1-6 Dolphins, who have not been able to get anything going, and the 4-2 Bears, who have played pretty well this year, currently just in a very hard division to win and compete in, and that puts them outside of the bubble.
4 wins in a row for those Bears.
Absolutely. Started 0-2. Now, to get into a little bit of a nerd sesh, NFL ELO is a phenomenal site that provides us with a lot of EPA. Now, for those who don't know, EPA is estimated points added, and it's today's efficiency metric in the NFL. Looking into it, the best passing offenses in the league are the Lions, Seahawks, and Patriots, which makes a lot of sense with 3 quarterbacks that have been lighting it up on the field. Looking at rushing offenses, your 3 tops are Colts, Chiefs, and Bills. Only surprise there's the Chiefs because you never hear anything about their running backs, but they're multiple backs and, of course, Patrick Mahomes making that rushing offense work. And their overall best offenses so far this year in EPA per play are the Colts, Cowboys, and Packers. Now, the only caveat there is the Cowboys, where the defense just counteracts anything the offense does.
They have no defense on Dallas.
Flipping sides of the ball, we have the Vikings, Texans, and Broncos topping your pass defenses. No surprises there. Flores, Pat Surtain, and then the Texans with Derek Stingley. Run defenses, you have the Broncos, Seahawks, Lions. Very stout defensive lines. Everything makes sense there. And your best overall defenses are repeats of the Texans, Vikings, and Broncos. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight before we end this off here is looking at receivers, total EPA. This is just receiver efficiency calculated in a volumetric total. Puka Nacua, George Pickens, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. No surprises there. Coming in at 5th is Buccaneers rookie Emeka Egbuka, who a lot of people didn't think was going to be one of the top receivers in this draft class. Well, now he's one of the top receivers in the NFL. So going forward, what do we have to look forward to the rest of the season? The trade deadline is coming up around the corner sooner than most would think, in about 2 weeks. Brandon Aubrey sets the record for most 60-yard field goals in one player's career with 5 so far. Jonathan Taylor sets the Colts record for most 3+ touchdown games in a season. They've only played 7 games. Lamar and Brock Bowers are set to return from injury. Those for looking Buffalo game news. Bryce Young likely out. Andy Dalton will most likely start that game against Buffalo. Meanwhile, Rico Dowdle has seemingly taken Chuba Hubbard's job right after he got his big money extension. And Miami, do they have a QB controversy with Tua continuing to struggle? And is Mike McDaniel on his way out? Ian Rappaport says that there's no changes expected as of yet, but 1-6 kind of speaks for itself. As for that, we'll look for teams that get eliminated from playoff contention, start making these staff moves, and we will take this to break and be back with our next segment.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
Cool.
Welcome back to the Buffalo Sports Insider. My name is Ryan Batona. I'm along with Joe here, and here I'm going to talk about the Canisius University women's soccer team as they played last Wednesday at home. They returned home at the Dembski Sports Complex in Buffalo, New York, as they played against the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers in their next game in their game conference play. They were led by sophomore Azara Fagan as she scored the only goal in the game. It was a shutout until the 66th minute as she powered through the defenders of Mount St. Mary's and put it in the back of the net. Very important goal for the Canisius University women's soccer team. And it was led to a win via freshman goalkeeper Chloe Cesaros, who had her third shutout of the season. It was Fagan's second goal of the season for her. The win for the Griffs bumped their record to 5-3-1 at the time. And then they played this past weekend as they went to Poughkeepsie to take on the Mary's Red Foxes, and they unfortunately suffered a shutout there, losing 2-0 against the Mary's Red Foxes, and they didn't play really well in my opinion. Just couldn't get any offense going. Mary's really shut them down. That loss brings them to 5-1-1 on the season with a 5-8-1 overall record. Now, throw to Joe with some more high school football.
Yes, upcoming this weekend's rivalry weekend for all the big rivalries. One of the biggest rivalries is the TNT series, Tonawanda, North Tonawanda. That's one of the longest in Western New York, dating back to 1904. There's been talk of stopping that one. I'll talk about that at the end. The Lancaster versus Depew rivalry began in 1919, and it's going to end in 2 years. There's one game in Depew and one game in Lancaster, and that's it. What do you think about that, Mr. Going to Lancaster?
Yeah, I went to Lancaster High School. It was always a big rivalry, but unfortunately, it was always a big demolishing rivalry for their Lancaster. Just Depew, bit of a smaller size school than Lancaster, so Lancaster always beat them. This is actually going to be the final high school game in Lancaster in that rivalry. Sad to see it go.
It'll be at Depew next year then.
Yep.
Okay. St. Joe's Canisius already played, but like a rivalry, I mean, some of these teams in St. Joe's and Canisius, they've won 20 straight. St. Joe's will win 20 straight. Canisius will win 20 straight. It's about who the players you got, but I know in the public schools, it's about how many kids are in that development, you know? Okay, we got West Seneca. The two East versus West. You know, I hear that. I'm like, oh, wow, Ken East, that's where I go, you know? So you got West Seneca East versus West Seneca West, and Kenmore East versus Kenmore West, which is the Battle of Kenmore. And I can remember being a kid. I lived one block from where Ken East played, and there would be 10,000 people at the game.
Wow.
Now, if there's 100, they're lucky. I mean, the parade, everything was unbelievable. Some other ones, Olean, Bradford, Hamburg Frontier, Albion, Medina. But the rivalries just aren't what they were because of the lack of size of school. You know, you start with a AA. North Tonawanda was a AA. All of a sudden, Tonawanda is a B. They're demolishing them because the kids they can draw from are way greater. Same thing in Lancaster, Depew. Lancaster's a AA. Depew's probably a B school by now.
Yeah.
And same thing in Kenmore. West was AA. Ken East went down to a single A. And it's just, but you hate to see the rivalries on.
Yeah, absolutely. It just stings. I mean, high school is like built on rivalry, you know? It's a big thing, like the week of, like Lancaster Depew week, North Tonawanda. I mean,
yeah, and
like there's like a big build.
Even in the Ken East, Ken West, it got so intense, they didn't make that the homecoming game.
Yeah.
They made some other game the homecoming game because it was too much hoopla and trouble and stuff like that. Yeah. So those are the games coming up this weekend, the big rivalry weekend. We'll talk about the rivalry, the scores next week on our show. We got one more segment coming up, and we'll be right back.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's lumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do.
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. My name is Thomas Bailey, alongside Ryan Patota and Pius Katenki, as we are back for our final segment of today's show here on Buffalo Sports Insider, that being the MLB playoffs. We haven't covered the baseball playoffs much this season, but there were some surprising teams that did make the cut and some surprising teams that didn't. The Blue Jays being one of those teams, and they're still in it, fighting for Toronto and Canada as a whole, as the only team remaining from the Northern Province. A big matchup tonight for them. But first off, we're going to get into the NL side of things as we see the Los Angeles Dodgers sweeping through the Milwaukee Brewers. They are off to the World Series for the second straight time, first time since the 2012-2013 St. Louis Cardinals. A 9-1 record this postseason. Their only loss was in Game 3 of the NLDS to the Philadelphia Phillies in a very close game where the Phillies were fighting for their playoff lives. So a big thing there. As Pius, what do you have on your Los Angeles Dodgers?
I mean, my Los Angeles Dodgers have been absolutely phenomenal since the start of the playoffs. I mean, just look at, they sweep the Reds, they defeat the Phillies 3-1, they sweep the Milwaukee Brewers, who they lost in the season, every matchup in the regular season. They lost to the Brewers every single matchup, and they go into the postseason and absolutely sweep them with great pitching, great hitting. I mean, you talk about the defense. The Milwaukee Brewers had the lowest batting averages that we've ever seen in the postseason. This was absolutely terrible. They only were able to score about 1 run in plus 2-3 games. I mean, this is insane. No back-to-back winner since the New York Yankees did so in 1998 up until 2000. And the Los Angeles Dodgers will be looking to repeat as last year's champions this year. I mean, you got Shohei Ohtani, who's playing absolutely out of his mind as of the last game. You have our closing pitchers, Roy Sasaki, who is absolutely insane this postseason. No one can stop him. The hitting has been phenomenal, as always. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, I mean, you name it. These guys can hit the ball. They can strike the ball. I don't see anyone out of the AL even coming close to defeating the Dodgers this year. And that's just my take on it.
Yeah, very true, very informative. As we look at the AL side of things, Game 7 is tonight at 8 p.m., Ryan. Big one here for the Toronto Blue Jays, looking to make it back to the World Series for the first time in a pretty long time. This is their first championship appearance since 2016 when they lost to the Cleveland Guardians, who would take an L in the World Series to the Chicago Cubs that year. But overall, though, this has been a very good series. It started off with 2 straight wins for Seattle to open things up. Back-to-back Blue Jays wins, evened it at 2, a 3-2 series lead to the Seattle Mariners before a 6-2 win in Game 6 last night for the Blue Jays, forced this pivotal Game 7. It is in Toronto. There's a lot going for the Blue Jays. Can they do it? Do you think the Blue Jays win in advance to the World Series?
I can see it happening. You're going to need, the Blue Jays this season has really defined the word team. I mean, you had players stepped up. You had, first of all, you had, the Guerrero signing before during the April. That was really the turning point of the season. I think that really rejuvenated this team. And then, you had some pitchers go down. Max Scherzer went down. He had a thumb injury. to begin the season. So now you got to call up, oh, Eric Lauer. Who is this guy? He's from the Milwaukee Brewers. You know, he's supposed to be in AAA. They call him upon to pitch a couple of games, and he actually pitched outstanding. So you're going to trust him to keep going forward the pitch throughout the season. So this team has really defined the word team. They've been really, you know, if someone goes on a cold streak, for example, Guerrero didn't have the best, you know, regular season, but he's really turning on in the playoffs. But when he wasn't playing well, you know, other people stepped up. Then that's what the Blue Jays have been doing this season. Can they win tonight? Absolutely. But you gotta, you know, that bullpen has been interesting especially this series. You know, Seattle, Toronto, you know, coming in, you know, we all knew Seattle pitching was going to be very good, but the Blue Jays, you know, don't strike out very much, and they've been showing it this playoffs. Now, a couple of these games, it's been actually the road team's been winning most of these games throughout the series until, you know, the last 2 games. It's been the whole team. Can they do it tonight? Absolutely, but they got their work cut out to them. It's going to take every single one of their players in order to do it. That's
A
what
full
they've been
team
doing.
effort, if you will, in this
Absolutely.
game here tonight. It'll be an interesting one. We'll keep you updated on that, but thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Buffalo Sports Insider. For all of everybody that's been on the show today, including Ryan and Puce, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you tune into the website, buffalosportsinsider.com, for more sports stories like these every single day. Thank you guys once again. I'm Thomas Bailey, and we'll see you guys next time.